Hi. How are you?
I'm well. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Hi, Laura. Good morning.
I'm still getting dressed.
Well, how exciting for us.
But I am dressed. This is what you should really focus on.
I should still put her earrings in. We won't look.
It's okay. I figure you guys all know it.
That's fine. Laura, have you met Debbie before?
No.
Oh, you too. Yeah.
Hi, Laura.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I see sunshine. Are you also in Florida?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
we have the rain is coming down here like it's unbelievable. Like it's just teeming on the house.
Wow.
Where are you?
Maryland. Just north of DC, just south of Baltimore.
Okay.
So,
All right.
kind of, yeah. I kind of wish it was snow though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, then I don't have any excuse to go out. Like it's raining, I still gotta go.
Gotta go do stuff.
How are you guys this morning?
Good. Good. Up and early. You hear some background noise. My kids are on their way out the door. So, Laura, did your daughter leave already?
Yeah, she just left.
Yeah.
You
Is
guys
she driving yet?
Yeah, she turned 17 February 7th.
Yeah, I thought she was of age.
Yeah,
Wow.
so she's got her own car, so she just goes.
Yeah. So Joe drives both him and Anthony. So they both head off.
Jack leaves at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh.
High school.
Some high schools here start early, but not this particular high school. It's on the same campus as the middle school, so they share the buses.
Oh.
Very interesting.
Well, and it's interesting because there's been a movement, at least recently, that they were going to flip the schedules. The kids that were younger went to go to school earlier, and the high schoolers were going to go to school later because they, hi, kind of Joe, the kids' brains don't sort of engage.
Yeah,
until
that early
later.
morning.
So,
I know when I went to high school, I started at 7:05 in the morning.
yeah, so did I.
But we were done by 2:00, so we would wear our bikinis underneath our clothes and go to the beach.
That's a benefit of living close to the ocean.
That's a Florida girl.
At 2:05, I would go and.
Yeah. Hi, Connie Joe. Good to see you.
Hiya. I'm not awake yet.
I know you know Debbie Keenan.
Yes, we go way back.
Way back to Kodak.
Way back to Kodak, exactly.
Oh, goodness.
We worked together years and years and years ago.
Yes. Well, Connie was with us last week, so we're glad to see you back, Connie Joe. We got a couple more minutes. We'll make sure everybody comes in. I know I got a message yesterday from Ani, who used to be in Bold Heart with us.
Ani Kakachian?
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't pronounce her last name. She said she was going to come. That would be fun. And then I talked to Hani Broder, who is a graphic designer. I don't think she's going to come today. She lives in Sweden.
Oh, wow.
That's the one I mentioned to you, Laura. But she wants to come. She'll be here next week for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, she's just doing something. I just talking about Ani, and there she is.
And here she comes.
Here she comes.
Here she comes. I'm even going to pause.
There's Ani. Hi, sweetie.
Hey, I didn't think we were going to be doing this, but all right.
You're here.
I'm here.
We are doing this, girl.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Laura's circle's expanding every time she comes on this call because she loves it.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
Time to get makeup on.
You don't need makeup, girl. You're
Oh, you're
fine.
sweet.
All of us are probably dressed up at the top, but how many of you have shoes on?
I have slippers on.
Ballet slippers.
No.
I have slippers.
Oh, see, we're in Florida, so we don't wear slippers. Laura and I are like,
Where are you? No, not
flip
your
flops.
Yeah. I can't wait till actually it was so warm here this week, 2 days, it was in the 80s. I went out without a coat. And that is like, to me, like the true best day of the year is the first day, no coat.
Awesome.
Deborah, where are you? Where are you located?
I'm in Maryland.
Oh, right. My sister-in-law's in Maryland.
Okay.
Stevenson.
Oh yeah, she's real near me then. Yeah.
She used to be near Timonium.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
That's about a half hour north of me. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother-in-law is an attorney in Washington, so they go back and forth. Well, he goes back and forth to Washington.
That's a heck of a commute from Timonium.
Yeah.
He gets the Baltimore Beltway and the DC Beltway to get.
Yeah. Well, they ended up buying a place there just to stay in DC because of the commute.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
I thought Florida was bad.
So from where I live, as the crow flies, I could get to Bethesda, which is just outside of Washington, on a Saturday in a half an hour.
Ooh, nice.
On a day like today where it's raining, it would be 3 hours.
Oh, no.
That's I mean, it's just ludicrous.
Wow.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
I know. That's why I had to drive yesterday to a client's, and I had to be there at 10, and it was about an hour and a half, but I gave myself 2 hours. And as I'm sitting in traffic, I'm like, I am so thankful that my commute is from upstairs to downstairs.
That whole 3-second commute, I'll take it any day of the week.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Jill, our world is now Zoom video.
Yes, isn't it?
I'm loving that concept.
Yeah. When I approached Laura about this, she's like, how do we do this? I'm like, Zoom.
Right, yeah.
So great. I think it's just so innovative and it's perfect.
Yeah, it is.
Well, do you remember in Disney World when they first opened Epcot, they had the big Earth and you had a ride that would go through. And I think the ride has changed. They had to have changed it because they were like way into the future and they had the big TVs where people were talking to each other.
Here we are.
This is it. I mean, we're living
We're
it.
here. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning.
Morning. So as we have, we're going to go ahead and get started. So if everybody could open their chat box, and this is how we do attendance in a virtual networking meeting. In the chat box, we type our name and email address. Anything else you want to share, of course, you're welcome to share in that chat box. But this is how we take attendance. Isn't this exciting?
Alt H.
Does everybody got, Laura's got to go and Maria's there. Thank you, everybody. And you're welcome to, to use this as a referral tool. Now you have each other's contact information. Most of us kind of know each other, or at least 1 degree separation. So hopefully we'll get to know each other even better after this meeting. This is our second virtual networkers meeting, and I'm excited to see Maria and Connie Jo back. Of course, Laura is the founder of Keep It Local, so she's here always too. But we've got to see the prospective members back. So thank you, ladies, and Debbie, welcome to the meeting, and Ani, welcome to the meeting. We're both glad that you're here. Thank you. And if anybody else comes in, we'll make sure to have them type in their information as well. So let's go ahead and get this party started. What do you say? So what is the structure for this meeting? For those of you who are this is your first time, here's what we do. We will go around the virtual room and do our 30-second commercials or elevator speeches. So we'll do that, and I'll call on you to go, so you don't have to worry about volunteering. I just pick on people, and we just go around the room. So just remember, it's about 30 seconds, so try to keep succinct if you can. From there, we're going to move into the speaker. The speaker is me to this week. Yay! And I'll be talking about Facebook, and I hope Laura will chime in as well, because Laura is a social media. So we'll go into that. And of course, any questions you have about Facebook, I'll be happy to answer. I'm sure Laura would as well. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. Do you guys mind if I take screenshots and stuff just to use it for marketing purposes for this chapter? Are you guys okay with that?
Not me today. Just cut me out. because I'm serious because of because
okay.
I sell a product and I look tired.
Got it. Okay. Well, then maybe
Can you put your video? Can you put your turn off your video and see?
Sure. And go like that. Done.
You turn off your video, it'll pull up your picture, which is professional.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll just do that for a second, and then I'll just take one screenshot real quick, and then
where it says video settings.
So no, just go move your cursor to the bottom of the screen, and then a little bar will pop up, and then to the left it'll say mute.
Yes.
Stop video.
Okay, stop video. Okay, got it.
okay, perfect.
That's fine. We can do it that way.
Okay.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah. Everybody smile.
All done. Okay, one more time. All done. Okay.
All right, Ani, come back.
All right, I'm back.
Thank you for remembering that, Laura. That was awesome. So we'll do to the presentation, the Q&A, and then at the end, we'll go around the room again for any member announcements, anything you want to announce to the group, whatever you have, webinars coming up, lead magnets, Facebook groups, who to keep an eye out for referrals, anything like that. And then we'll go into our educational / motivational moment. And Debbie has been so kind to volunteer for that. That was me going, hey, Debbie, through a message. And then we'll close the meeting. So we should be done right at 9:00 Eastern for that. So any questions? No? All right. And then we also will, for Debbie and Ani, we'll talk a little bit about, toward the end, we'll talk a little bit about the membership, how many meetings you can come to for free. If you're interested in joining Keep It Local, we'll go over that scoop as well. Okay? Okay. All right, so let's get our 30-second commercials done. So I'm going to go in order of how you appear on my screen. So that's the randomness of that. So Debbie, you get to go first.
I had a feeling. Hi, I'm Deborah Keevan of deborahkeevan.com, and I help visionary entrepreneurs attract their ideal clients by taking their words, making them magnetic, and putting them in a book.
Yay! And she does a fabulous job.
Thank you.
Laura Shipman, you're up next.
I'm the founder of Keep It Local. So that's one of my jobs. But then my other hat is I do social media management for companies, trainings, workshops, and I'll also go out and speak to organizations. And I do all the socials. So everything from Facebook to Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, you name it, I can do it.
Yay! And she's the founder of Keep It Local. This was her brainchild many years ago, and it's grown and grown and grown. So congratulations.
Thank you. This was Jill's brainchild, the virtual aspect of Keep It Local. So I think that's really cool.
Thank you, ma'am. Connie Jo.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Connie Jo Miller, and my company is Enigma Bookkeeping Solutions, and I do bookkeeping and financial coaching. I make sure that you have impeccable books so that you are ready for tax time, you're ready for an audit, and then I go the next step and I help you go over your books and look and see exactly what the numbers mean and help you make financial decisions for your business based on data. And I'm trying to start my own virtual networking group within a bookkeeping group. So I look forward to talking about that a little bit more.
All right. Awesome. Congratulations on that. I already knew about that, though.
Yeah. I got a little help.
Help from a friend. Ani.
Good morning, everybody. I am Ani, the founder of AniFineJewelry.com. I make limited quantity and one-of-a-kind fine jewelry pieces for people who want to invest in themselves and want to understand the statement that they make when they put jewelry on their body.
Yes. And Ani, you look gorgeous without makeup. Can I just say that?
I'm like, I wish I could show up looking like that.
Sweet.
I understand
Hey, I
why,
guess-
because of your product and the type of product you sell, where you need to. I would want that too, but I just want you to know you're beautiful
Yeah.
without it.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, competing 3 times in Miss New York certainly doesn't
It'll
help
do
you
it.
wake up with makeup on.
That's really cool. Well, we're here. Glad you're here, Ani.
Oh, thanks.
Maria, last but definitely not least.
Hi. Hello, my name is Maria Hebda of thecareerexperts.com, and I am a business coach and consultant, and I help certified career coaches and resume writers build their business and identify their ideal clients.
Yay! We're glad you're here, Maria. Thanks for coming back.
Yep.
And by the way, I have a total screen envy. I mean, my screen is.
I know, that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
It helps having a husband who's, what's the right word? A Renaissance man who just reads voraciously.
There you go. Look at that. Yeah, you've got a lot of books.
This is not even,
I have office envy right there.
Yeah.
it's not my office, it's his.
Regardless.
I have no ownership.
That's gorgeous. Yeah, my screen's blocking the Celeste house and all its media behind it. Guinea pigs and children have left, so I did hear a door slam, so that's good. So we're going to go ahead and get into the guest speakers. So usually we have guest speakers come in, and I'll talk about that in a second. But today's me because, I could easily fill an agenda with me, right? You know, it's easy to talk about marketing stuff, but I want to talk about Facebook today. I think everybody knows me. I'm Jill Celeste from JillCeleste.com, and I'm a marketing coach. I help purpose-driven entrepreneurs learn how to market their businesses, become the directors of marketing for their business. And I wanted to talk about Facebook today, and Laura is a Facebook expert too, and as mentioned earlier, I'm hoping she'll chime in with her wisdom as well. So wave your hand around, Laura, if you have something, or correct me if I'm wrong. Please do not hesitate. But you know, there's been a lot of changes going on with the algorithm, and it seems like this week especially, I've been seeing a lot of changes on my own profiles and my own Facebook pages. Has anybody noticed their reach going down, the organic reach on their pages?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's definitely dipped quite a bit. And so I want to talk about Facebook pages and Facebook groups today, if that will be helpful for everybody.
Yeah.
Just to see what we can do. We can brainstorm ideas together as well, things that are working on your page and on your group. So I really like for this to be interactive. You're welcome to mute yourself if you'd like, but you're welcome to stay unmuted as well, you know, unless it gets crazy background noise. That's fine. We're a small crowd. So let's first talk about Facebook pages. So in case you're not familiar, a few weeks ago, Facebook announced that they are changing the algorithm. And that means how they formulaically put posts into your newsfeed, your main newsfeed that you go into when you do Facebook. Debbie's already shaking her head. So Facebook is always trying to make the user experience better. And also because they are monetized through ads, they want to make sure that they have that revenue stream. I can't blame them as a business owner, although it sucks because it feels like I'm the one who gets the brunt of it. All of us, right? So if you haven't looked at your Facebook pages in a while, you may want to go look and see. We'll go into the Insights, which is the reporting tool on your Facebook page. You can see it right from the top. There's a little link. And just go and see, and you'll notice that things are dipping. Now, another thing that someone told me, Lori Hardigree, who's a Facebook expert, she told me yesterday on my Facebook group that hand in hand with the algorithm change, there also was a measurement change, meaning that Facebook at the same time changed how it measures organic reach. And Laura, I don't know if you know anything about this, but and I'm going to probably butcher this, but something about before the organic reach was whether it appeared on someone's screen, whether they scroll down or not. And now it's actually, if an eyeball saw it, it's registered in the organic reach metric. Do you know anything more about that? I didn't research it, but I didn't know if you knew any more. It's okay if you don't.
No, that's not nothing I've heard. There's like there was a 3-part algorithm score that I heard about, but I don't think that was one of them. Are you talking from like a personal standpoint or a business standpoint?
Business,
yeah. So like when you say eyeball, is that like a heat map or someone?
I think it's just, I think where the post appears on the screen, maybe up high.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to do a little more research on it. I'm just kind of throwing out that, meaning that there's probably many variables affecting this
So
algorithm.
is it like our eyeballs, what we look at, like where we go on the screen? How could they do that?
I think it's more of the position.
Position on the screen.
Yeah.
That would be
We tend to look at things that are top, right? How many of you are looking right now toward kind of you're not looking at the bottom of your screen and anything.
Right.
So I think I think it's kind of toward the top and where you may stop scrolling if you're on your phone or with your mouse. So I'm going to research this a little more, and if anybody finds anything, let me know, but I think it's important. But whatever the cause is, the reach is down. To give you an example, I'm a pretty prolific video person. I shoot videos all the time on my Facebook page. And typically when I shoot a video, and meaning like not even Facebook Live, like I upload the video, I would used to get several hundred views naturally, organically, without boosting the ad or anything. Yesterday, I uploaded my weekly e-zine video, which my tribe knows every Thursday morning, Jill puts a video up, and I only had 40, the reach was only 40, and I only had 22 views. So from 300 organically to 22. And I don't think it was the topic because it was about improving your cash flow, which I'm assuming most entrepreneurs would want to read about and hear about. I noticed too what I was posting on, because Laura has given me access to the Keep It Local page. I posted an invitation to this meeting, and I think maybe it went out to 10 people or something. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So even video, which was kind of the tried and true, like, this will at least get us into news feeds, is not as much. Facebook Live probably is doing, I have not tested it, but I'm assuming Facebook Live will get out a little more. Is that a correct assumption, Laura?
Yeah, that's where you want to be for sure.
Yeah. And go ahead, Ani.
So that cannot be artificial, because if it says that that's how many people saw that, then the names are with it, correct? Like if you originally had 300-400 people viewing and then it goes to 40, something's clearly wrong there. Or was it the buzzword cash flow?
No, it was actually, Facebook is not pushing that video out into people's minds. Yeah. Yeah. In order for your video to go out to the news feed, there has to be interaction on that video. And the problem with is if no one's seeing the video, then you can't get interaction. See the kind of the catch-22 we're in? Because they want you to advertise it. They want you to
pay
post or something. Yeah.
So that's interesting. And I don't mean to get off topic. I was just watching CNN last night about the shooting, and the NRA woman got up to talk about how social media responds to these very, very awful, sensational events, which is kind of interesting the way Facebook is responding in a way similar to that. Unless it gets that sensationalized response, they want you to pay for it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's their business model. So
yeah.
Now what I did find, one thing that does go out into the news feeds quite successfully is if I share a video with over 1 million views. So somebody famous like Oprah. I shared Shaun White's inspirational video about Shaun White. I shared a video about Ellen DeGeneres. And they had over 1 million views, and I shared it from Ellen DeGeneres' page or the NBC Olympics page. That went out. That had several hundred views organically. People commented because they could see it. So if you see a video, and of course I would say make sure it's aligned with your brand. Just don't willy-nilly throw out a cat video. But if it's in alignment with your brand, and it's got and you could see right on there, right underneath the video, there's a view number of views, and if it's over 1 million. And you can share it on your page, test it and see what you get with your tribe. But that's one thing I've noticed is definitely going out there. Laura, have you had any experience with that at all?
Yeah, and actually that's common advice in the industry right now, is to find something that aligns with your brand and send it out, and you'll get more views and shares on that.
But if you send out something that may be more obscure, like that has fewer views, versus sharing something that already has almost 1 million views, what's the difference there? It's like you're resending out something everybody else may have already seen, and you're kind of like jumping on the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? I
think it depends on you're good point, Ani. I think the differentiator is what's your take on that view. So when I shared Shaun White's, I wasn't just, Shaun White. I was talking about how he became very tenacious here late in his career and became very intentional about what he was competing in, which is a marketing message I share all the time. Be intentional, be intentional. So I put my spin on it. I think with Ellen DeGeneres, about, she being such a great advocate for humans, really.
True.
So I added my own twist to that. So I think what you want to do is if you find a video, you add your Ani-ness to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, and because when I had a talk with Summer, when we were in Florida, we were talking about thinking about things, and one of the key things was value and having things taken away from you, because I've had this repeated through my life, and I realized that one of the things in the brand is the ability to bring value based upon your own initiative, your own action, as opposed to waiting for, and I don't mean to trivialize this, Prince Charming or whatever. It's not going to happen. So, or waiting for a trust fund or whatever. It's just it's not going to happen. So it's the investment in yourself and the value, the material, everything that you do. So I get what you were saying before.
Yeah,
it's
so
great.
play with it. It may not
Yeah.
work on your page. Everybody's
Yeah.
tribe is a little different, but that's what I'm experiencing as well. As Laura said, that was sort of best practice.
Mhm.
Another thing, anything can be advertised. So, my rule of this is just my rule of thumb. This is just what Jill does. If I want someone to, with a certain call to action, get my lead magnet, sign up for this, I do try to advertise that message if I can afford to, right? And I don't have like all of us, I don't have a limitless fund for front Facebook ads. So I'm very strategic about what I do promote, but that is of course an option. And if you need help with Facebook ads, Laura, do you help people with Facebook ads? There you go. There's your resource. Because I do a little bit. I know enough to be dangerous, but if I was going to do a large campaign, I'd hire somebody like Laura to help me, because there's a lot of nuances with Facebook ads. It's its own machine, so to speak. And so you want an expert to help you with that. And then one final thing too, another piece of advice is comments are gold on your Facebook posts. So encourage your fans as you can to comment, not just like or put the little heart, which is nice, but comments are what tells Facebook that this is good content. This is content that user wants to see. So encourage them. Even if this is what I think I might do, is I might go on I don't like to use my personal profile for marketing my business, but I don't mind sharing messages like this, which would be, if you want to help a small business owner out, comment on their post, go back to their Facebook page. Because I don't know about you, but I'm missing, I follow my local historical society. I don't see their posts right now. My kids' school, I'm not seeing their posts right now. So I got to go back to those pages and comment so I can tell Facebook, I want to see this high school's stuff, or whatever the case may be. So even in your own practices, go back to the pages that you like and leave a couple comments, several comments, as much as you can, so that you can try to drive that content into your newsfeed as a consumer, and also educating your own fans about doing that. So so that's some thoughts on Facebook page. Anything to add, Laura, for Facebook pages?
I could tell you like a little bit about the algorithm if you wanted.
Yeah, would that be helpful for everybody?
Sure.
It would. Okay,
Okay.
so when you're posting on Facebook as a business, one of the things that you have to remember is your post will go through over 100,000 different touch points. And so every touch point it goes through, Facebook gives you a score on that. So there are three things that you need to figure out is, if you imagine Facebook's a funnel, right? And everybody's like dropping their content in this funnel. And so it's only got like this little tube to trickle out. Facebook's going to score these posts because they're based on what people want to see. And actually, let me just go to my notes real quick.
Sure.
And I can show you, I can actually share this with you, and you guys can take a screenshot of it too. So give me one quick second.
Thank you for doing it, because I put you on the spot, Laura. Thank you so much.
No, I don't mind, as long as you guys don't mind. Let me just go here real quick. And
How do you take a screenshot?
I know how to do it on the Mac. It's a Control-Shift-3. I don't know. Oops, where'd you guys go?
You could take it with your phone even.
All right, I gotta get my phone.
Oh, go ahead, because she's searching.
I'm trying to find. Let me just share it.
Jill, I had a question
Yeah, go ahead, Maria.
about the comments. So you're talking about your business page and not a private group. So what about, getting interaction with the private groups that you have?
That's a great question. I'm going to get into that in just a second. So
Okay.
hold that thought for me, because
Okay.
that's another thing we got to get. It's another thing we got to go over.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that's my next thing, because that's changed a little bit too, just a little.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're
Can
welcome.
you guys see my screen?
No.
Nope.
It's not. Oh, hold on a sec. Oh. Now do you see it?
Yep.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Oh, nice.
Okay. So here's like, we're gonna look right here. This
Laura,
is,
can we take a screenshot?
yeah,
No.
go ahead, take
Okay.
a screenshot. Go for it.
Okay, thanks.
Got it.
Okay. So everybody's here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this right here is your post. And so what they're going to do is they're going to take a look at your post, and they're going to see what different variety of posts you're putting out there. So what you want to do is be very diversified here. So you want to include things like just regular text posts. You're going to want to include video. You're going to want to include live video. And you're going to get scored on that and how much of this diversified content you're using. So you're going to get that score here. Then the next thing you're going to do, this thing that kind of looks like the Wi-Fi symbol, that's a signal. And what that means, Facebook is going to score your business posts on the signals that you attract. And so what is a signal? A signal is a comment, a share, and a reaction. So if you go to your Facebook page, when you go to like something and give it a thumbs up, you'll get a bunch of different emojis that will pop up. And the thumbs up emoji is probably the least ranking emoji you can use when you react.
Which one? Sorry, Laura. Which one was the least effective?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Okay.
Yeah. So if you want, what you really want people to do is give you a heart or an angry face, invoke some sort of an emotion from them, because that's what social media is going to do. So Facebook's going to look at the type of posts you do, score it. They're going to score you on your signal. And then they're going to make a prediction about you and the type of posts that you give, and the type of reactions you give back. And that's your final score. So based on those things, that's how your business post is going to be scored. So when you're looking at that minor portion of the algorithm, you need to go down here to the arrows here. And so what they're looking for is they're really looking for, are you posting stuff that's going to go to like-minded people? So Jill always talks about your tribe, right? So you want to post things that are going to really attract your tribe and those like-minded people. So they're going to look at that. Then they're going to look at how many meaningful signals did that post create. And then they're going to look for that post to kind of go viral and be shared. And so one little piece of strategy I've been using, and I'm going to stop, if everybody got that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can come back to you. One of these little pieces of strategy I've had, and I think that this chapter kind of thing that we're working on right here, because everybody's from a different area, is, and I don't know if you've done this before, Jill, is to use like a Facebook pod. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say a Facebook pod?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So what you do is you get a collection, and this group is perfect because there's six people in it, or actually 5, don't even count me. You get a collection of 5 people, and everybody has a different business. And so let's say that Jill posts something on her Facebook page on Mondays, and her day is Monday. She reaches out to her pod, being you guys, and she says, hey guys, I just posted something on my business page that's something of value. Would you mind sharing it to your timeline and give it an emoji and a comment? Because then that's signaling Facebook's algorithm to say, okay, 4 people just commented and shared Jill's post to like 4 different timelines that don't really look related because you guys are from all over the place. And then on Tuesday, say it's Ani's turn. So Ani goes ahead and she creates a post about her business. She messages the pod and say, hey guys, look, I just posted, it's my day. Do you guys mind sharing this out, giving it a heart emoji and a comment? And so that gives your post so much more value, and then it opens up your reach. Does that make sense?
So it's like clusters. You got your core group, and then you rotate amongst yourselves as to who's going to get boosted that week.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That day.
And
Yeah.
so that's just, you just quadruple down. You know what the math is, how many people that
Yeah.
news.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
just a little trick to navigate that funky algorithm, which is really
Cool.
fun. It's
Yeah.
not a
That would be so great when we get this chapter up and running with members, just to have that be part of our own networking for each other.
Oh, it's going to be huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's a great thing. Any other Facebook page questions before we move into groups? I'm going to exit my full screen. Okay, cool. Let's move into groups. How many of you have a Facebook group? 1, 1, 2, 3. So Ani and Connie, Joe, you don't have Facebook groups, is that right?
I don't have a group. I started a business page, and I'm trying to figure out how to create a group in that page.
So you would create a group and you would link it.
Link it.
So a group is a separate entity, but it can be linked to your page.
Yeah, I guess I missed that module in Boldheart.
There was no module in Boldheart.
There was no module for that? Okay. So, yeah, because now I know I have to create a group on Facebook, right? And that no longer becomes private.
Well, it can be as private as you want. It depends on the setting.
On the setting. I mean, no, it could be, okay. Yeah.
So think, and you could Google all that, Ani. I mean, it's
Okay.
super easy.
Okay.
Setting up a group and which setting. There's a couple settings to choose from.
I'll do that today.
But you can definitely link that to your page, which I recommend because people then will find it. So here's one thing this was announced. I caught wind of it yesterday that with all these changes that Facebook has made, that Facebook has a new default for group notifications. So normally when you join a group, the notifications used to be all. Like, so when you join a group, anytime someone posted in that group, you would get a notification in Facebook. Now Facebook has changed that to highlights. So what that means, from what I can tell, is highlights are, if you have a friend in that group, you'll see his or her post, and then whatever else Facebook probably, like the algorithm, that probably a similar filter like what Laura just described. So you want to educate your people there's kind of a twofold thing. So if you manage your group, you want to tell your group members to look at their notifications. Now they may want highlight, which is certainly their choice, but you want to encourage them to select all. That way when you're posting in your Facebook group or a member posts in your group, the notification goes out to those members.
Could you repeat that? I don't understand just repeat what you just said there.
Sure. So you want to educate your group members to go into their notifications, and you want to encourage them to select all. That way they're getting a notification on every post that is made in that group.
Okay.
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 Unless they don't want, I mean, it's certainly up to the person. They might like highlight. Well, God bless them, off they go. But we want to encourage them as the group moderators to select all. That way they don't miss any content. That's the key.
So you would have to do that individually, because if they're not getting that through the settings in the group, you have to go reach out individually to each one of them.
You could reach out individually. You can email your lists. You can post it other places. You could make a video. You can make it on the Facebook banner. There's 105 things probably you could come up with, but just you want to educate them to select all for notifications. And then for yourself, if you are in any groups that you really want to get the notifications from, make sure you go into that setting. Now, it's been kind of hit or miss with me. Some I've noticed I'm getting all, it's been all, and then I went into like Trinity Chat, which is a local group, and it was selected to highlights. So I don't know the rhyme or reason. It's Facebook, so it is what it is. But as a consumer, if you have a group you really like, go check the group settings as well, because that we want, the groups are sort of the saving grace to me on Facebook, because it does allow us to interact with our tribe without all this algorithm. So this one little thing is sort of a little bit of a block, but it's easy to have it fixed because you can just educate your members. Did you have anything to add about that, Laura?
When you said the Trinity, I'm on your Celestial ones right now, trying to see where I am. I'm doing that on my phone. So, but something just triggered with the Trinity Chat one. I'm wondering if it's a volume thing.
It might be.
That's so active.
It's very active.
And so mine for Celestial, I don't know. It was on all.
It was on all. Okay.
Yep. And there's thousands of people in that Trinity one. I'm wondering if it's a volume thing. Okay.
It could be a volume thing. I'm still, because that's when I was like, well, so go check your own, let your members know to be aware of that. And, one of the things I always like to remind people is with Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, we don't own our contacts on those social media profiles. If Facebook closed tomorrow, we would lose that access. So as a reminder, get people onto your email list and because you own your list.
Right.
So share your lead magnets, share your webinars, share your newsletters. Constantly try to get people to get on your list. Now, for example, to get in my Facebook group, So the Facebook group has 3 questions you can ask when they request access. So I do have a question. It's the only question there. And I say, may I have your email address? I want to send you my welcome video, my community guidelines, and a free gift as a thank you for joining my group. And about 90%, 95% of my new members do put their email address in there. So guess what happens? They're opting into my list. And so I'm sending them what I promised. Most of them are opting in for the gift anyway, so they would have opted in that way. But I am capturing their email address as I can from the new members. And then I am going to promote my lead magnets, and when I do webinars, all that stuff that has the opt-in field. So please be diligent about getting those folks also on your email list so that you have that asset.
So when you create the group, that's in the structure when you're formulating the group.
Yeah, you can ask up to 3 questions there. And so that I learned from a mutual friend, a lot of ours, Donna Rudowitz. She has that best practice, and I stole it. So
It's been helpful.
with her permission. But that has helped me build my list. I know, as I'm recruiting members in, if I'm capturing 90% of their email addresses, that's great. That's wonderful. I'm happy about that.
And from an administrative standpoint, you keep that list in Excel, or where's the best place? I mean, I've got stuff.
Well, I have a mail program, so I use Infusionsoft, but you could put it, if you have Aweber, ConvertKit, MailChimp, any of those, you would
and
just.
if they go, MailChimp's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Unless MailChimp closes, I guess, but still.
It's been around a long time.
I don't think you'll have a risk there.
Yeah. Easily learned.
Yeah. So that's just a tip I wanted to remind you. And another thing, my final share is the Facebook is not the only social media site out there. It really, some people have asked me, should I change my strategy? My response is, where are your ideal clients? Where are they frequenting?
Right.
If they're on Facebook and that's where you can convert, then yeah, you need to play by Facebook's rules. But if there's a second site that maybe your ideal clients are hanging out on, it's up to you, but that might be an option for you, is to diversify and see if you can reach people that way. It's important that you know the demographics of your ideal client so that you can match them with the demographics of those social media sites, because each site has a little of the nuance, a little bit of difference. Pinterest is heavily women. Google Plus, last I checked, was a lot of guys, so there are nuances among the different social media platforms. And so you want to make sure you're making a good fit there. Yeah, Debbie.
And just a clarification is, actually, technically, Pinterest is not a social media site. It's actually a search engine like Google. And actually, for you, Ani, that would be phenomenal because your work is image-based.
Yeah, thank you.
And there's a real, and you set up a business profile, and it's not like collecting pictures of, where you want to travel or books you want to read. It's really there are, and probably Laura can speak to that even more, but there's a real strategy to using Pinterest.
Yeah.
I've been very successful.
I want to learn that. I was, just from my sensors out there, investment of 2, I heard Instagram is better for whatever reason, better than
They're
Pinterest.
different.
What?
They're different.
Yes.
Instagram is social media. Pinterest is a search engine that you can feed to Instagram, right? And Laura can speak to that. That's not my.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. It's for me, it's creating the time or the system for putting the image out there, getting the feedback, and then figuring out the curve for processing and then having the conversation. So it's not pitching. I can't spend time pitching. It's about getting that curve shortened so that I can just focus on the client and creation. So that's the part that's missing is creating an invoice, getting the invoice, getting it to them, getting it back. Okay, now we can start. It's just like you go from administrative stuff to creative stuff. So
you can tell you're a creative heart, Ani.
What?
People were like, can I just skip the bullshit and just get to the truth?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
You're not alone. Many creative people are like that, Ani. And I think, if you can reach a point where you can outsource some of this.
Yeah. No. I'm totally I'm getting it. Each day it's like, wow. And it's like the light bulb goes off. So I'm going in the right direction. I know it for sure.
Yeah, you are. You are
Just
hanging in there.
keeping things, not making them complicated, keeping it simple.
Yes, isn't that true? Yeah, I think we like to make things complicated. And also we like to we're trying to keep up. I think we're trying to keep up with the news and we have some entrepreneurs have a fear of missing out. Oh, if I'm not over here, I'm missing out.
Yeah.
And my intention, and I think Laura agrees with me, I would rather you master one social media platform from top to bottom than spread yourself too thin and not get anything. You're not missing out if you're intentional on one social media platform or two, depending on your time and where your people are. So never worry about missing out, because if you're focused, you won't miss out on anything.
No. And that's what I did this past year with Bold Heart, is focus just on the business part of it.
Yeah, exactly. Any other questions? That kind of rounds up my spiel. Yes, Maria.
I have a question regarding the question that you said when people join your group that you ask for their email address to. So when you manually because I use Infusionsoft as well, so you manually put that in, but then their email's not confirmed. Do you then send out that confirmation so that it's like the double opt-in, so that they don't,
So I put their email address in and I tag them Celestial One's Facebook group, which sets off a sequence to send them the welcome letter.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, I didn't do that. Somebody set it all up for me, but
okay, I wondered how that.
I know that much.
Okay.
But I do put them in because the volume is not so high. If it got real high, I would have Heather, my VA, put the addresses in. But I just have a couple people going in every day, so it's manageable. But if I were to have a huge campaign, I would.
So you're tagging them then with your Facebook. Okay.
Yeah. But I tag them the group, and that when I tag them, it sends that welcome letter.
Follow-up sequence. Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. That's the nice thing about Infusionsoft. You can do all that. Yeah. Laura, any final words of wisdom on social media? No. Just be authentic, everybody.
Yeah.
We will get through it together.
Yeah.
And as soon as we figure it out, they'll change it again.
Yeah, that's all right. Keep us on our toes, right? There's some benefit to this. We might not know what it is, but.
Exactly.
So we're going to go into the next portion of our agenda, which is member announcements. So this is your chance. If you don't have any, that's okay, but this is your chance to announce whatever it is you like. So again, I'm going to start with my screen, but I'm going to go backwards this time. So I'm going to start with Laura.
Oh.
Somehow you popped over here. Sorry, girl.
My member announcement, I actually started a podcast. And
Congratulations.
it's on iTunes. It's called The Laura Shipman Show. And, so that's just something I'm going to start throwing out. I wanted to get a couple of episodes in before I announced anything. So I think I did 5 or 6. I really can't remember. But so I'm going to try and release a podcast episode once a week.
Awesome. What are your topics?
It'll be social media and business and marketing, that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
So,
That's wonderful.
Are you looking for guests?
Yes. So
If you're interested in being a guest, let Laura know. I know Debbie does a lot. Debbie's voice, by the way, is luscious on audio.
Really?
Oh, goodness.
I have to figure out that part of it, like how to do it remotely, like, you know what I mean? So
I can help you with that. I just actually spent a day yesterday with a podcaster working through all of her processes.
Wow.
Cool.
So how do we sign up for that, Laura?
You can go to, it's called, and I'm just going to right here. It's called, just because, oops. That's the name of it. And you can just search it on iTunes and it'll pop up. And
The Laura Shipman Show?
Okay.
I try and keep it very short, like, 7 to 10 minutes, so that you can just get your information and go. Because I don't like the big, long, drawn out stuff myself. So I just like to get my info and go on to the next one. So, and I'll take suggestions for show topics. So
awesome. And you can always email Laura. She's got her email address there in the chat as well.
Perfect.
So awesome. Very good. Ani, any announcements?
Yeah. Well, from my AB buddy Carrie, I got the idea and I'm trying to implement it now. And I announced it and I got a lot of feedback to have, instead of targeting or going after one client, to go after a group. So I went to the local library, and the biggest room they have seats 6 people, and myself 7. So I have this concept of getting a group of 6 people. And I don't want to underscore my price, but I came to a price. I'm hoping I can manage it at $300 a person, where they would come and I would do a workshop on jewelry. We would do the designs, and then I would go and make them in sterling silver and ship them to them.
Wow.
It includes
cool.
like the custom piece, everything. So it's just kind of to get the word out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the one little thing is I was asking the ladies that I play tennis with, because they see my tennis jewelry.
Beautiful.
And they're like, oh, I want one of those. So they're tennis ladies. And so everybody's got a different schedule. I'm just trying to get everybody, which is like a logistical mess.
Herding cats. You know what? Here's what my advice is: just set a time.
Set a time. Yeah. So I've
They will
got the
come.
library booked, and I'm trying to, I only can have it for 2 hours, which is not a lot. So which means each person will get about 10 minutes of my time. I will give them a presentation on a small snippet of statement jewelry, custom jewelry, and everything that they need to know in that little window. Sit down, make their designs. Think about, Debbie, your interview with me was huge. You were asking me about my favorite song. I mean, if you could offer me 4 or 5 questions to hone in, because after I leave, I really spend almost a whole day on each piece.
That's amazing.
So I like get into, what they want, their childhood, their music, everything. And then from that, the lettering system, everything that's embellished on the piece comes from that thought process.
That's wonderful.
So I have to figure out what questions to ask them from the beginning that'll really just get right in on it.
In there. Awesome.
So that's where I am right now. And I just, again, have to figure out the logistics of getting everyone to pay the $300 before we get in there, because I don't want to have to deal with that once we step into that room for 2 hours.
So let's have a conversation offline. I can just give you, half hour. We can nail out how to get them to pay.
Okay.
And then what you could ask them ahead of time, so that you have information beforehand. So
Right.
you're not having to necessarily spend time answering those questions there.
So
yeah, you can ask
and
me
I-
in advance, that'd be great.
Yeah, I earmarked to St. Patrick's Day, but now the one woman that wants to do it is away that day. So anyway, I got the room for St. Patrick's Day.
It'll fill. So it is, my dear.
So it is.
Yeah. Good job. Maria.
No, I don't have any announcements. I just had a quick question though. Are we able to see the recording of our meetings that we have?
So here's what I'm going to do is, I think the best way would be is I'll put the recordings on YouTube unlisted.
Okay.
And then I can send the links out. And then when people join the chapter, there's a Facebook group, and I can also post it there.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that work for you, Laura, do you think?
That's a great idea.
Okay.
Jill,
I just came up with that off the top of my head. I'm so glad Laura's so flexible. She's like, yeah, sure, whatever, Jill.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. No, it's good.
I'm open to other ideas. Please let me know. But thank you, Maria. Yes, we'll get that out to everybody.
Thank you.
Connie
You
Jo,
could maybe-
any announcements?
Separate code.
it's me?
Connie Jo.
Oh, Connie Jo.
Oh, well, Debbie and I have an announcement together.
We do.
Yeah.
Okay, well, go ahead, ladies.
We're writing a book together.
Oh.
That's great.
And we want to get input from all you ladies if you haven't done it already. We're writing a book called Period. And it explores women's history of when they started their periods, what it was like, their story, and also their background. So we want to especially explore different cultures and how different cultures react to starting your period, how their families react, are there any traditions or any celebrating that's done. So, and
we've got a huge, right now we have a really nice broad brush of ages. And it's very it's fascinating.
I bet it is. That is kind of intriguing. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
my mom's almost 85, and she shared her story with me, and it's hilarious. I mean, it's just, it had me in stitches. So she's working on hers, but she doesn't know how to do the, she didn't do the survey. She's just put it on paper. And it's like, Mom, you just needed to click in that email.
You might just have to type that up for her.
Yeah, you can do that for her, Connie Jo.
On paper.
So how can everybody submit their, do you want to put the survey link in the chat?
Debbie, can you do that?
Yeah, give me a minute to pull it up.
Okay.
Just don't wait for me.
Or we could.
Am I talking next?
No.
Okay.
We could email it out too. We have emails here.
Yeah, whatever. Just so just make it easy so everybody can help you out with the survey link.
Deborah, you're a writer. It's funny because I grew up in Larchmont in Westchester, and I remember the biggest thing was that Judy Blume, the book.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my God.
It's Me, Margaret.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, I think they even had something on NPR. I woke up the other morning, and you can Google it. There was some NPR talk about that book, and
It's still an influential book.
Yeah.
To this day.
Yeah.
I remember reading it.
Me too.
Yeah. Connie Jo, any other announcements?
Nope. That's
Okay.
about it for me.
All right. I'll go ahead, Debbie, and then you come after me. How's
Okay,
that?
I got it. It's there too.
Oh, there you go. All right. You want to go ahead then, Debbie?
Okay, sure. I actually have, in addition to our exciting period book, I am running for anyone who wants to write a book in March. I call it, it's a Facebook group called March to Complete, and anyone's invited because I'm actually writing my own memoir during that month. And I just said, let's get everyone together who wants to just get a shitty first draft done, get it all on paper, no editing, just total fun, really encouragement, answering questions, cheering each other on. So that's in addition to the period book.
She's got a lot of things in the fire.
I do have a lot of things. And the other thing too, I am running a weekly Facebook Live interview called DTV. And so if you have, I'm really just running it for my other Facebook group called Your Book to Fully Booked, for anybody who is an expert and wants to just get on and talk 20 minutes about one particular topic, and it'll be fun. And it's just really to get exposure to what you guys are doing, as well as have some fun on Facebook and really add value to my tribe. So,
Very cool.
that's it.
Laura, that would be good for you, my love.
I know. So I'm like making notes. I need to go check out our Facebook page, our website, all that good stuff.
That would be fun. So my announcement is I just wanted to share the membership to keep it local. We are open. Our doors are open to welcome you as a member. So you are welcome to come visit this group up to 3 times without having to make any decision. After that, I'm going to come after you. No, just kidding. But we will ask that you make a decision on joining us or not. And so if you're interested in joining us, please let me know. It's very simple. You fill out an application. The reason why there's an application first is this is a seat-specific networking group, so we want to make sure that the person applying does not already have that industry representative, right, to keep the integrity of the people here. We're going to be creative with the seats because virtual, a lot of people have different specialties. So, like Debbie might be book coach, but if there's someone who's an expert in blogging, then we say, hey, Debbie, could you do book coaching and someone to do blogging? I'm using that as an example, or different social media platforms. So we're going to be creative, not blur the lines, but to say, can you just be the LinkedIn person or whatever the case may be. So if you're interested, just send me a message. All of you know me. You can find me on Facebook, and I can get that application out to you. The membership fee is only $175 for the whole year of networking. You get a ton of benefits, and all of that's on the Keep It Local website. Laura, could I trouble you to put that info in? There will be a Facebook group with this, so we will be meeting once a week, every Friday morning at 8 a.m., where additional networking will occur is in our Facebook group. And if you've been in one of my Facebook groups, you know that I keep that very vibrant, very robust, and we'll be doing a lot of cool activities in there. So if you're interested in membership and holding your seat, so to speak, please apply. and we'll get you started on that. Any other details, Miss Laura, that I might have omitted?
Yeah, I just want to be clear that I'm not taking the social media seat. I just want, I'm just here because I'm curious to see how this new concept is working for us. So I'll be in this meeting from time to time. So if you know somebody who is interested in holding the social media seat, please let them know that that's available.
Okay.
I'm just excited to see you guys grow and flourish and see how this is working. And I think Jill is doing an amazing job at doing this. And I think, as I attend these meetings, I want to make sure that the value is there for the members. And so that means we're going to be innovative in growing this so it meets, I guess, the standards of what an online networking group would look like. So I don't know how many of you are involved in traditional networking when you're meeting in person and things like that. Some things may not translate over to this, and we might be able to open up a whole nother area. Like, for example, one of the things I was thinking is we all have social media platforms and Facebook pages and stuff. We could do a Facebook party or something like that where, there's stuff that we can do to make this fit the online world is what I'm trying to, and I'm always open to ideas and suggestions because I want to make this work for everybody involved.
Yeah. We're both very committed to that. And just an FYI, I am talking with, many of you might know Jennifer Flynn. Mm-hmm. Jennifer lives in Colorado, and I'm talking to her next Friday about opening up a virtual chapter in the Mountain Time Zone so we can start attracting those folks who don't want to get up at 5 a.m. to network, which I do not blame them. So we are expanding already, which I'm really excited about. So my last ask is if you know someone who might be a good fit for this group, please invite them. We want to expand and have, most chapters, in-person chapters, it's like 18 is the magic number. So that's sort of what I'm striving for here, so we all can get to know each other.
So this group will be no more than 18 or?
Well, there's no limit. There's just the target.
Target, okay.
Yeah, because not everybody will show up every week, of course. We want to make sure the attendance is good, but just trying to keep, the more people who are in here, the more referrals we'll get, the more visibility we'll get, the more we can help each other. Right. So more is definitely better. So if you know anyone who might like this type of structure, who might on a network from home, the key is you have to have a virtual business. You have to be able to serve people no matter where you live. That's the key, because otherwise it's not going to be helpful to that member who might be, I don't know, a certified financial planner who only deals with Washington, D.C. That's not going to help that person. Right. So virtual business owners, virtually helping people, that's really the key.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it would be prudent for each of us to go back and not just think broad spectrum, but to think about the best. Now, and I don't mean to qualify it that way in a weird way, but like the person that will elevate us as a group.
Yeah, like a rising tide, right?
Rising tide.
Absolutely. So who's a great representative? So all of us, if you read the book, Referral of a Lifetime, each of us knows at least 250 people.
Yes, everything we need is right here.
So, so if you can think of anybody, I welcome them to come any Friday, 8 a.m. We're here. So now I'm going to ask Debbie to do our educational motivational moment.
Oh, there's so many things to talk about. But what came up for me as I was listening to all of us is that, just saying yes to be here and free this time on our schedule and make the commitment. So when you really think about things that come into your lives, how many things do you say initially no to that you probably ought to consider saying yes to? And then really just being mindful of that little voice inside of you that's whispering, you can't do this or you shouldn't do this. And thanking your ego for keeping you safe and really then saying, but I got this. I got this. What do I need to be saying yes to that I'm not saying yes to?
So true. Yes.
Yes.
How many of us have done that where our knee-jerk reaction might be no?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do it all the time. I'm very protective of my calendar. So my first instinct's like, no, I can't fit that in, which I'm not even looking at my calendar to verify.
Right.
So that's good words of wisdom. Thank you, Debbie.
You're welcome.
I have a question before we go. We have a minute left. Anybody who might be returning next week, I would love to have a guest speaker that's not me. would anybody like to give a 20-minute presentation next week? It's okay if you don't, but if you have a volunteer.
If no one else wants to, I'd be happy to talk about something with words.
Well, that I think would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Debbie,
Yeah.
do you mind?
No, I'll do it.
No.
All right. Awesome. You don't have, you can share slides or you can just talk. It's completely, what's nice about this is we can share slides through through
Right.
the share screen, or you can just talk. So that'd be great. About 20 minutes Q&A.
Is there
Has-
anything
has
that
anybody-
comes up that people, okay?
Has anybody in this group gone or been part of BNI?
Yeah, I have.
You have. So yeah, they have like a structure. I don't know.
Yeah, we do too. We're just so new, Ani, that we haven't gotten that. We don't
No.
have any members yet to do the structure.
Yeah, no.
Structure.
Oh, that's gonna
There's
come.
actually an agenda and everything.
Yeah, no, that'll come.
Yeah,
That
thank you
will
for that
come.
reminder.
I love this
Um,
concept. I think
is a
it's so
concept.
perfect, especially for me. I was telling Carrie, I said there are 2 BNIs in Darien in the morning, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And actually, I was asked to sub in for Gretchen from Bold Heart. But it was 7:00 this morning in Stanford. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get there. And, logistically with children, this virtual really works.
It
This
does.
is the future. This is
It's
huge.
pretty huge. Yeah, I
It's
agree. Thank you
huge.
for seeing that vision with me. That really makes me feel good.
No, it is because
But here's how we make it bigger is we have to tell people about it. I mean, I can
Oh,
be
yeah.
all day long. Laura
Right.
can speak for drum, but we need to share the goodness. Which brings me to my last ask. Just like Debbie shared a motivational moment, we have a minute or two on our agenda at the end of every meeting for us to share something inspirational. I was wondering if anybody next week would be willing to, you can read a quote, you can share a story, just a minute or two. Would anybody be willing to be our educational, motivational moment speaker next week? And if you don't want to, that's okay. I'll make Laura do it.
I'll do it. I just got to figure out what to do.
Yeah, it's pretty loosey-goosey. And I think if you could just, think about something inspirational, a poem, quote, a story, a period story.
Ooh.
We have some funny ones.
I bet you do. That's awesome.
And how much time is it? Just a couple minutes, right?
Just a couple minutes.
Okay.
Does that work? Thank you.
I wrote it down. You'll be perfect.
I mean, you don't want to hear me all the time. I'd rather hear from you all. So that ends our meeting. Was that fun? What did you think?
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yay!
I loved it.
Yeah.
And of course, I love your energy, Jill. You're just so positive.
Thank you. Ani, did you enjoy?
Absolutely. And I was wondering, Laura, you're not going to be in this group, or you are? I don't know. I don't understand that. But
No, I'm just
6 of us, and
Yeah,
there were other people that didn't show up.
I'm not going to be in this group, and so we have 30 chapters physically in the Tampa Bay area, the greater Tampa Bay area. So what I do is I bounce around to the different chapters and just check in and, help out with stuff like that. Where this is such a brand new concept, I want to help and support Jill as much as possible. So, I just want to be here to see, okay, where can I help out, and what new systems do I need to put in place, because this online chapter is just so brand new. And that's why I'm so open to whatever questions you guys have or any suggestions you have to make this, really serve you and your business, to make sure that you guys are successful. And that's all that I really want to see, is you guys as business owners just like thrive and get what you need out of this. And I think this whole virtual thing, there's so many people that we could invite to this who could really help you with your business. The connections that you guys can make to grow your business are going to be huge. So so that's why I'm not going to be a member of this chapter. I just want to make sure that as the founder of Keep It Local, I create the systems that you guys need to be successful.
And we're glad you're here, Laura. You're welcome any and every time.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I love the people that I've met. And that's the cool thing, is you guys are all from a different state, right? Except for me and Jill.
Right.
We're probably
Ani's in Connecticut. Maria's
Yep.
in
Michigan.
Michigan. Connie Jo's in Georgia. Debbie's in Maryland.
Right.
So
and like they say in networking, your network is your net worth. And I think that's just so powerful. The different states that we're all from. I mean,
Right.
the connections that we can develop because of that are huge.
Yeah.
And it's better than a LinkedIn connection. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's stronger because we're actually communicating. We can see
Right.
each other.
See each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You become friends, and I love I love connections like Debbie just talking to Ani. I'm like, let me talk to you offline, and if like that makes it really just, I know it sounds cliche, but it makes my heart warm when I see that, because it makes me feel like I did my job here today. I got people to connect, even though I knew you knew each other already.
Yeah,
Just
no.
to hear that is really, really cool. So
Yeah.
yeah.
go back into my my in-world life,
Yeah.
think about like, how can I refer each of you out? And because you're virtual businesses, you guys, it's the beauty of it is you can take a client from anywhere, which is
Right.
And we do.
yeah.
I have people all over the world.
Yeah,
So
same
cool.
here.
And Laura's, just because she's in the Tampa Bay area with me, we know her as local Laura. She is so well connected locally.
That's awesome.
Influx of Tampa Bay clients will know who to thank.
Yeah.
Exactly, because I get calls all the time, Laura, who will do this? And I'm like, so this is great. I have like a whole new resource, which is awesome.
It's nice, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. So we meet every Friday. So come next week, Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern. Same link. The Zoom link never changes. So you can put that on your calendar.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So you don't have to write a new one. It's a perpetual link, so to speak. And you can share that with anybody who wants to join us. You don't have to, you just share that link with them, tell them to show up 8 a.m. They don't have to pre-qualify or anything. Just tell them to come and we'll introduce them.
And then after a certain time, when it'll be closed, or it won't be closed, or
I don't know yet, Ani. That's a
Yeah.
great question, because it's going to get a little unwieldy at some point, but I don't know what that number is, to be
Right.
honest with you. So, but I think that we need more virtual chapters too. So I think as people see this, they might want to start their own, which would be fine. So we'll get them all situated. But I do envision there would have to be a cap at some point, but I don't know when that is and what that number is yet.
right.
That's a good question.
Like, for instance, like this is going to be put on a link, and we're going to all share it. And I just disclose that I'm having this thing for $300. That's just a starter point. But going forward, some things I have to just be a little bit more reserved about disclosing, because I don't want to be perceived as like a lost leader. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I value what I'm doing, and that's what I want to give more value, as much value that I can give, that and still come out positive, not in a negative.
Be profitable.
Negative,
I want to be profitable.
and it's not a business. It's no longer. So it's using that mind and the heart together.
Yeah, always.
So some of this stuff, as I begin preparing a system, you want to keep it proprietary. Some of it proprietary. It's not just the networking and the social connections.
I think it depends on your business too. You have a different business model than some of us, so that affects. So you have to be smart about what's best for you.
Yeah. No, but
Absolutely.
I'm excited about this. I think you're onto something really, really good.
Thank you.
And I think a lot of the people in the younger generation have figured this out. Like, I don't know how, but they're able to connect very quickly. And again, I go back to Instagram, and they're able to do transactions and get back and forth quickly.
They're very nimble.
Very nimble. And
Absolutely. I know my kids are always on something, always on the phone doing something. FaceTime, Twitch, they're video gamers. They're just always doing something, right? Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close our meeting out since it's a little after 9. Thank you all for joining us. It was so much fun. I hope to see you all next Friday, 8 a.m.
Wonderful.
thank you so
All
much.
right.
Bye.
Everybody have a great Friday.
Bye.